north. It's where nature meets technology. It calls. Let's go. North Orbit versus Orbit Pro. How do you know it's a Pro? Because it has a giant word that says Pro on it. Is that the only difference? We don't know. We're gonna get on the water and try it out. So North Pro was a very limited edition kite that they're just releasing. They're only making a few of these things for the top of the top, for mega loopers, for all the stuff that I don't do. So we're gonna see if average Joe actually can tell the difference between North Orbit and limited edition Orbit Pro. Session time. Quick thing on how to safely launch your kite. Check your lines first, right? You can see center lines go to center, outside go to outside. Then hook up your leash. Hook in, stick, check your D-higher, thumbs up. Whew, gonna be jacked. Powered up today, but Orbit feels so nice. Orbit very controlled in really powered conditions. So our conditions today, we got northeast, coming up to the Buxton Split, and it's blowing probably 25 to 32. Looking pretty flat, but definitely windy. Bunch of kooks that don't know how to twink tip, but having a good time. All right, overview on the Orbit. So the Orbit is their high jumping kite. It has a really direct feel. 5-stroke kite, so it can hold down a lot of power and it's gonna like just have that support of that 5-stroke frame. Direct feel means that when I pull, boom, the kite reacts. Pull, kite reacts, even when the lines aren't tensioned. The other key feature that this kite has is it jumps extremely high. It just rips you off the water. It does have a very balanced and controlled feel. For this iteration, they have made it lighter weight, and that lightweight really lends to having snappier turns and just more responsive feel. Kind of takes some of the deadness out of it that's been happening in some of the past versions. So this version of the Orbit, besides for the sick new logo, is an awesome rebuild, refit on this. I can't wait to try the Pro and see if I like that any better. But it's kind of hard to get better than this thing. With that direct bar feel, this new Orbit is going to feel a lot like it's going to have more of a similar ride to the Ozone Edge or the Duotone Rebel. Those are going to be kites that are going to be in this category with this kite of high jumping direct bar feel kites. So if you like the XR8, like the core kite, which has a little bit of a softer feel to it, you will not like the Orbit as much. And if you don't like the XR with that softer bar feel, you will really like the feeling of this. Here we go, time for the Pro. So Pro definitely feels a lot lighter. As soon as I put the thing on, it was like, ooh, it feels quite a bit lighter, but it also feels a lot punchier. Like I'm feeling the gusts more. It's definitely a little more sensitive just to gusts and kind of the wind conditions we're having today. So a little scared, but let's get out there. Nature calls. It calls. adventure meets technology. Orbit. You know, I feel like for me it jumped about the same height as the regular Orbit. It kind of just rips you off the water when you jump. The other thing too, like I personally like the regular Orbit just because of that user friendliness, a little bit more control to it. But for a rider that's going to be really pushing their limit and really pushing what they're doing, mega loops, riding at a huge top end of the wind range, this Orbit Pro is going to be a great call. But I think it's really limited to top tier riders. Definitely, they put Pro on here for a reason. I thought they just were putting Pro on just to make it sound cool, but they put Pro on here for a reason because this is for top level riders. I mean, I can ride it, I can have fun, but having the user friendliness of the standard Orbit is a little bit more my speed. Okay, Eric, what do you think?
So talking about the Orbit Pro, I would say it's a lot faster, more aggressive turning. It's got a lot of grunt to it, but it's definitely more like the user has to know how to drive it.
Yeah, you got to be a good rider to make that thing go.
Yeah, it's like if you know what you're doing and you know how to like drop the gears in it and make it fly, right, it can do a lot. And then our normal Orbit, our bread and butter right there, I mean, that thing just jumps great. Super
it's like
user friendly.
You're just cruising along, shooting, you're like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like, I just felt like it was a lot more like pull and go, and this is like gotta know how to fly it, which is great. Not for everybody, but if you're sending it, could be a really great kite too. So.
Sick.
Yeah.
Want more reviews? Watersports.com, 252-987-6000. See you guys in the water for the next session.